Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and welcome to the Lakers post-game show on ZSPN on YouTube. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Now, guys, before I get into the Lakers' first win into the new year of 2022, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff, and of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZSPN. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me all across social media and, of course, on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. And also, guys, I have a podcast. It's also ZSPN on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, distributions. I have a podcast now. It's basically the same content I give on YouTube, only you can just listen to me on the go. So please show me the love support for my podcast. I really do appreciate it. I'll leave the link to that in the description also on this video so you guys can check it out. Much appreciated. So guys, let's talk about the Lakers win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. I have to say, when it came down to it, the Lakers, they survived. The Lakers survived in this particular matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves because when it came down to it, I mean, the Lakers, they got it going when it came to the first quarter, but when it came to the second and third, they were just really falling into place. That all had to do with the turnovers from Russell Westbrook and just not a lot of effort when it came down to the rebounding side from the Los Angeles Lakers. And that really kind of hurt the Lakers when it came to that particular instance. But at the end of the day, the Lakers ended up getting a win. And, in my book, a win is a win when it comes down to the Lakers. And, there's circumstances of losing games as of late. So especially when it comes to easy ones. And, the Lakers had an opportunity to just, they had to. They had to win this game against the Minnesota Timberwolves because they didn't have Karl-Anthony Towns. So, when it came down to it, they had to get this win. And, LeBron was on a roll. And, obviously tonight he stepped up for the Lakers once again. Not a 30-point performance, but, he had, I believe, 26 points out there tonight. So he showed some great effort. And I believe he went 3 of 9 from the three. So, an okay shooting night for LeBron James. And he managed to give us 7 rebounds out there tonight. So I have to say, when it comes down to it, it was just a great effort on King James when it comes all said and done. And then when you look at the rest of the starting lineup, I mean, Russell Westbrook, he had a solid night, but, he was the main issue when it came down to the Lakers' turnovers. I mean, he had nine turnovers for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, that is very unacceptable when it comes to, that type of numbers of turnovers. I mean, we were kind of hoping that Russell Westbrook would possibly turn things around and end up giving us at least maybe 2 or 3 or maybe possibly 4 turnovers when it comes to shortening them. But this time around, it was just a bit overboard when it comes down to the turnovers in this particular matchup against the T-Wolves. So I have to say, he just really needs to work on that. And obviously, he's starting to, learn how to play with this team slowly. So obviously, we're going to see a lot of greatness out of Russell Westbrook when it comes all said and done. But, it's just going to take time when it comes down to the Lakers potentially, getting some effort from Russell Westbrook when it comes all said and done. So, we just have to wait and see when it comes down to, Russell Westbrook's, efforts of lowering down the turnovers moving forward. But, man, 9 turnovers. I mean, that's very disappointing, I had to say. I mean, it just really is. So, but when it comes to the rest of the Lakers out there tonight, Frank Vogel went with the same lineup, obviously having LeBron James being at the center. So obviously it's really working well since LeBron being at the center position. The Lakers, if you really think about it, uh, the Lakers are technically 4-0 with LeBron being at center. If you really want to think about the game uh, against the Indiana Pacers, where LeBron was inserted or changed, positions in the game in the second half, I believe, and he basically went into the center position, and the Lakers won that particular game with LeBron being at the center position. But if you want to just go based off a couple of games in the starting lineup, then it's 3-0, and LeBron has been playing very well when it comes to the center position. So we had to commend on the great rotation starter wise for Frank Vogel when it comes all said and done when it comes to the Lakers winning games that way. So it's obviously working. So just a great effort on the coaching part from Frank Vogel out there tonight. So then when you look at the rest of the Lakers, Malik Monk, continuing to show greatness every single night, and since him being inserted into the starting lineup, it's been very helpful. He's been very helpful with the Lakers, especially averaging around tonight 22, I believe 22 points or somewhere around that range. I'm not really looking at the stats in front of me, so my apologies. But if you all are watching this, it is there for you, so you guys can check out the stat line of the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So you can just check that out. But if you're listening to this, I mean, obviously you can go check it out. But if you want, watch the video, go to YouTube, and subscribe to my channel, and just give me your thoughts about it. So but anyway, when it comes down to it, he had a great night also, especially when it came to the second half and going into the fourth quarter. His shooting out there was just sensational on his part, and I believe he went, I might be mistaken, I think he went like two of, or maybe not two, maybe it was like two of three, no, two of four, or maybe three of four, somewhere around that range. But I might be mistaken, guys. But he had a great shooting night effort out there tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers. So great night for Malik Monk. And then when you look at the rest of the Lakers out there, Avery Bradley had a solid night out there tonight. And then you have Stanley Johnson still in the starting lineup. And obviously he's been working on the defensive side. So especially when it came to the first quarter as well. So his effort out there was just sensational on his part. And, it's just a matter of time until he gets a permanent roster spot on the Los Angeles Lakers. But, we just have to be patient and just wait and see if he just lives up to that expectations. But, so far on the defensive side, he's been helpful for the Los Angeles Lakers. And that was something that we were basically looking for when it comes to a 3-and-D type of guy. And that's what Stanley Johnson is when it comes down to it, especially on the defensive side. He can shoot for us, but, he is more of a defensive type of player. So it's just great to see him out there really helping out the Lakers on the defensive side. So a great night on the defensive side for Stanley Johnson. And then when you go to the bench, guys, I have to say not a lot of effort from the bench, to be honest with you. The only guy really stepping up out there was Carmelo Anthony. And, he really let it up in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter when the Lakers were up by, I believe, like 2 points. But, with the shooting efforts on Carmelo Anthony, he really extended the Lakers' lead by a huge amount. And, the Lakers were up by 8 points at one point. And they just continued to manage the game on the defensive side. And, it's just the rest was history after that. And the Lakers won this game tonight. So we have to commend on the great performance also on the shooting efforts from Carmelo Anthony. He had, I believe, 14 points out there, and I think he went 3 of 5 or 3 of 6 from the three. So obviously his shooting efforts was sensational on his part. So but when it comes to the rest of the Lakers, players like THT, not a lot of effort on his part. But Austin Reeves, we saw a bit efforts on his part. But other than that, when it comes to the rest of the Lakers, it was just not a lot of activity when it comes to the second unit, other than Carmelo Anthony. But it is what it is when it comes to the dominance of the starting lineup, really leading the way when it comes to the efforts on their part, especially when it comes to LeBron James and just I believe A.B. Bradley and the rest of them. I mean, those guys, they were just on their A game, and they really wanted to win this game due to the circumstances of the Minnesota Timberwolves for not having Karl-Anthony Towns. So obviously they needed to get this win, and they achieved it. And what a good way for the Lakers to get a win in the new year of 2022, first game into the year. So obviously it's just something to really admire being a Lakers fan. I mean, it's just a great feeling. And I hope the Lakers just keep this momentum moving forward, and hopefully they just start winning games, and hopefully they get into a position in the standings where they could be in a good spot in the playoffs. And instead of, maybe, I think right now they're in the play-in tournament, so when it comes down to it, maybe they can extend that and just be a competitive team in the playoffs. But we just have to wait and see, and hopefully things turn around for the Lakers when it comes to that's still the goal in mind. Since the beginning of the season, is to win a championship. But we just have to wait and see. And the story remains to be seen about the if the Lakers, especially like Rob Pelinka, if they're going to make any moves in February when it comes to trades or just buyout market wise, when it comes to just improving the team, so the Lakers will have a fighting chance going into the playoffs. But it's just I know we're like maybe 5 months away when it comes to that, but it's always good to just talk about that when it comes to the Lakers. Just trying to improve and trying to win games to just have a better seeding in the playoffs. But we just have to wait and see about that. And I believe the Lakers have a game on Tuesday. It's against the Sacramento Kings, so obviously it will be an easy win for the Lakers. But I just hope the efforts will be in place, because the Kings are not a team to sleep on, because obviously the first matchup we had against them, we went into triple overtime and the Lakers couldn't get that particular win. So and just the irony of that, we went to triple overtime against the Kings, and we had LeBron, we had Anthony Davis at that time, and Russell Westbrook. But hopefully this time around the Lakers will get another win over the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. Oh no, excuse me, the Sacramento Kings on Tuesday, and they just hopefully continue on. And I believe they have a game on Friday against the Atlanta Hawks, so that could be another winnable game for the Lakers. But still remains to be seen about that. So guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. Please give me your thoughts about the Lakers win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who do you think really stepped up out there tonight? Was it LeBron? Was it Carmelo Anthony, Malik Monk, or maybe possibly on the defensive side from Stanley Johnson, A.B. Bradley? Guys, just give me your thoughts about that. Or maybe if you have any criticisms, please give me your thoughts about the Lakers, when it comes to the turnovers from Russell Westbrook. I mean, 9 turnovers. I mean, that's really, something that he really needs to control and maybe slow down, and just he needs to manage. He needs to manage his speed, and just going out of control when it comes to just having the ball in his hands. So he really needs to calm down a bit, and help the Lakers win games, and especially easy ones. So hopefully he just sees that and changes moving forward. But we just have to wait and see about that. So guys, please give me your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and like all of my social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at ZSPN_sports. And guys, just as I said from the beginning, please subscribe to my podcast. ZSPN is on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video, so you guys can check out my podcast. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel and like all of my social media sites. and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.